Hi everyone, in this lesson we'll be learning how to draw a geranium plant. As we can see, the majority of the basic shapes are made up of egg shapes. So let's get started. I'll be using a mix of different pencils today, but they're all just basically standard colouring in pencils. Okay, so first things first is we want to draw our pot. So we look at just drawing a basic rectangle like this. And then we just erase the lines that we don't want to use. Okay. Next, we're going to draw a collection of egg shapes, and these will make up the body of the leaves. And they can be in all different shapes too. Not all the egg shapes have to be the same size, nor do we want them to be in the same size. So just keep drawing the egg shapes until you've got a nice amount. And that might be enough. Next, we're going to draw some stems coming out like so. And this will be where the flowers are going. On each flower, we're going to draw a series of smaller eggs like this. You don't have to be too specific with how you draw these flowers. We're just doing the basic outline at the moment, so they're not going to look like much, and nor should they. They might even look something like daisies, which is fine too. We know we're not going to draw daisies, but they'll look like that at the start. Okay, so now we have our basic shape. Let's get started in turning this into what looks like a geranium pot. I'm going to start from left and work my way right. What I'm going to do is do a little 5-point star in the egg. Then I'm going to simply draw around that 5-point star within the parameters of my egg shape. It can start to look a little bit messy, so I will erase the lines that don't make sense as I go. Alrighty, where is it? Then I'll just go over that shape again, like this. Then I'll draw a little circle in the middle of the little leaf. I'll follow this process right throughout all of the geranium leaves. So I'll just quickly jump round and do that. I try and make sure that I do each little leaf as its own little unique mini picture. So they all have their own little unique quirks and shapes and things. They're not all exactly the same. They're not all exactly the same size, nor do they exist in all the same direction. Some of the petals are larger or smaller as well. It's up to you how you do that. I like to always follow this method because even though they are all different sizes, they all seem to just work out. When I don't follow this method, sometimes it can turn into a hot mess. So even though it might seem like you're repeating a few steps, sometimes it's nice just to follow a process. I like drawing these sorts of plants because they can become quite quirky by their own right. And sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of quirkiness. I always try to erase the messy lines as I go to keep a clean picture. Sometimes some of these leaves might have just a couple of petals on them. They might not have the full 5, and that's okay too. Almost done. Alrighty. Now let's get on to the flowers. I'll just finish this last one. Alrighty. Oop. Okay. Now the flowers are just the same process, but they're much smaller. So all we have to do is just do little wobbly bits like this around them. Because a lot of these smaller flowers are overlapping, you don't have to do the full like 5 points. It's starting to really come together. I like to keep the shapes fairly different and unique for each petal to add a bit of interest. So it's really starting to come together now. Alrighty. So next up, we're going to just add in some extra curves here at the base of the pot. And we're also just going to add in a bottom line. Okay, so this is our geranium plant. Let's get colouring in. I'm going to start with the base of the pot plant, or the pot plant anyway. So what I'm going to do is just colour it in this light brown. It's important to remember that geraniums typically hang over the edge of the pot plant. So the top edge of this pot plant isn't going to be a straight edge. So I'm remembering to colour around the flowers. Once I've done the first layer, I grab a darker shade of brown. This is going to act as a shadow for the pot. Now I'm going to do the base of the pot a darker shade of brown. Like so. Now I'm going to go over the picture once more where the browns that I've done, and I'm going to make those colours a lot thicker. I always call the first layer of colour dumping because I'm just getting an idea for what shades I think will work. I mainly just do them in a light layer. That way they're easier to correct if I don't like them. You don't have to do your pot brown. It can be any colour that you like. I make sure that I slow down when I'm going around the edges of the flowers. Okay. Next, I'm going to add a slight red undertone for this shadow. You don't have to do this. This is just showing you how you can use different layers of colours to achieve different effects. Just looking for that other pencil I had. There it is. Next, I'm going to go over with the darkest brown colour. Okay. Now I'm going to colour in this base colour again, just to get it nice and thick. Alrighty. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the flowers. Just grabbing my green pencils. Okay. So first I'm going to colour in each little leafy flower thing down here. The base of these flowers are green. Next, I'm going to grab a dark green. If I can find one. Let's have a quick look here. A bit of trouble on the dark green pencil front today. Oh, I'll just have to use, oh, this one might work actually. Okay, so in between these flowers here, they're going to be a dark green. Okay, now we'll just go over these flowers again because they're not really green enough. Okay, next I'm going to grab another shade of green. Oh, actually, oh, where is it? There it is. Let's double check. Okay. And I'm going to go over some of these flowers, not all of them, just some of them. So there's a variation in colour, or tone, I guess, shade. Alrighty, I will grab another colour. This time I will be adding blue to this dark green, just to make it a bit darker. Alrighty. Next, I'm going to grab that green, the dark green. I'm just going to sharpen the pencil so it's nice and sharp. And I'm going to outline each flower in this shadow colour. And I'm also going to do the little inline of the petals like this, and the centre.